What's your thoughts on these talks between the US and Australia? How did they go?
Well, the last time you and I spoke, Peter, we said that, if there's going to be a Cold War between America and Australia, well, we're going to be in it. Well, we are now in it. These are very significant, these AUSMIN talks. Now, they've been going on for years, they happen on a regular basis. But the language here and the position that's been taken from the joint statement to the relevant ministers and secretaries answering questions makes it very clear that we've stepped up the rhetoric and stepped up the actions to stand up to China. There is absolutely nothing about the joint statement that would give China any pleasure whatsoever.
But shouldn't you think that we've needed to step up, though?
We're in for a penny. Well, we're in for a penny, in for a pound now, mate. So, yes, we repeated our condemnation of the use of these sort of vague security laws in Hong Kong. We jointly condemned the Chinese for their treatment of the Uighurs in very strong terms. We very stoutly defended Taiwan.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Taiwan's independent.
I thought that was a big one this morning.
Yes, that was pretty ballsy as far as I'm concerned for Canberra to come out and make that statement. And I can tell you now, there's been so much Chinese military activity around Taiwan recently. It is unbelievable. The Yanks had to send extra air assets to deter these Chinese fighters and these air incursions. And, of course, as you say, we're fighting fake news together, this sort of infodemic, they call it in the official statement, that's arisen around the pandemic. And again, we reiterated rather boldly that China's claims on the South China Sea are null and void, that they don't hold water. Now, for us to say that to China, that's a pretty big call. So Secretary of State Pompeo says this isn't about having to pick between America and China, but I tell you what, all our friends know what side they're on. Well, so he's definitely making us pick sides.
Yeah, and there's an argument now about, and I think it was either the Defence Minister or the Foreign Minister wasn't answering the question this morning about whether we should actually move within 12 nautical miles of these disputed areas, because that would really irritate China. But do you think we should be doing that? Because we had Michael Shoebridge from ASPI on the show a little bit earlier, who says we should be doing that, because if you don't, then that's only going to allow China to increase its territorial ambitions.
Well, I'm pretty hawkish when it comes to matters of national security and defence. So I firmly believe that we should be standing up to China.
For that reason?
I mean, this is the way the great game works. If you give a geopolitical bully an inch, you know they're eventually going to take a mile. So you've got to start standing up to them, and you've got to start drawing lines in the sand. Obviously, Australia, who can't defend itself, can't do that alone.
Correct, yeah.
But to have joined the Americans in their new Cold War so definitively, that's a big, big thing for Canberra to do.
Well, I mean, and we had an announcement a couple of weeks ago about, extra military machinery that we're going to be getting over here, when it comes to missile defence systems or what have you.
Yes.
And then, there's a question mark over fuel stocks, but we've just bought up a whole bunch of fuel from the United States. Perhaps it is getting ready for something like this, but, when you say that we might be heading for some kind of war with China, be it a Cold War or what have you, what will that involve? For the common man out there, what does that mean?
Well, it'd be a Cold War. Just think of the Soviet Union. Think of, the Cold War we had against Russia, but just refocus it with a Chinese face on it. I mean, for example, one of our big friends in the region that we're trying desperately to get closer to is India, for example.
Yeah.
Now, from time to time, America conducts these naval exercises with India. Now, the whole point of those exercises is to send a strong message to China that America and India, who shares a border with China, are working together. Well, there's serious discussions underway right now about us joining those exercises later this year. So we need to start stepping up. Just imagine it's the Russian Cold War all over again, but this time it's with Beijing. So it'll be a policy of containment. Wherever they try to go and seek a little bit of influence or steal something away, we can't let them. We can't let them. We have to show a united and firm stance. This is a big shift, and it's bold.